Petter Solberg, Mattias Ekström, Timmy Hansen, and the GOAT himself, Johan Kristoffersson.
It's Kristoffersson, the world champion.
Ball lifted the FIA World Rallycross Championship trophy. But 2025 is a new start. We have a field of drivers who all want to write their names in the history books. The remodeled Lousada circuit here in Portugal, with perhaps the most enthusiastic off-road motorsport fans on the planet. One thing is for sure this season, if you want to be crowned champion, there's one man you'll have to beat.
I think we are the ones that put the most pressure on ourselves. There is a lot of good drivers in the championship. The top level is high, it's always tight at the top, so it's difficult to say who's going to be the toughest one, but I think we have to concentrate on trying to do our maximum and do our best, and then we'll see how far that will bring us. We can't wait to get started.
So if you are new to the FIA World Rallycross Championship, this is how it works. Classes for 2025. Let's start with Euro RX3. Now that's what used to be Super 1600. 1600cc front-wheel drive screaming engines. Then you move up to Euro RX1. That's supercar in the European Championship. And then finally, of course, the FIA World Rallycross Championship. So, format, we're going back to the classic World Rallycross system, which means a grid for Q1, and then the racing is based on time. Who is fastest in that session, they get more intermediate qualifying points. After all the qualifying sessions, we add up those qualifying points, gives us our standings, which grids the drivers into the semi-finals, and then, of course, the final. Joker lap, same as it's always been, once per driver per race. Simple.
Welcome to Lousada in Portugal. The finals are coming up. Semi-finals first here, round one of the FIA World Rallycross 2025. I'm Martin Haven. I'm joined by the two fastest men in town and Timmy Hansen. Andreas Bakkerud with the fastest lap so far of the weekend in the FIA test car, and the man who top qualified, Niklas Grönholm. Niklas looking very unimpressed with only being the second fastest. At least you don't have to race him. Now then, let's talk about the action so far. We had two qualifying runs yesterday, two qualifying runs today, and Niklas, you've been very impressive so far.
Yeah, it seems to have been going my way. Good starts, that's of course
nice and clean, good momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Staying out of trouble. It's a big part of this sport.
And after Timmy and Kevin had a start yesterday, I think you did a crucial choice, braking a little bit deeper and later and nailing that brake into turn one and overtook the lead of the race.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only
there's
thing to
been
do.
Contact and damage as well, so Patrick O'Donovan's had a pretty tough time. But from the Hansen brothers' viewpoint, you're getting the car closer to where you want it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we started the weekend perfectly and we had that inside line, but when Niklas made that move in Q2 and won the race and then took over that inside line for Q3, he's been able to hold on to it. So that's how you win, you know, in Rallycross. You have to have that good spiral, and unfortunately we lost it in Q2, and then you have to fight a bit from the back. It's much more difficult. I had the chance in Q4. I didn't put together
track
nice
evolution.
Run. I think a bit of track evolution.
It looked good.
Yeah, but I just lost a bit of time to Kevin, like, throughout the lap. So I hope it was a bit of track condition.
It's never the driver, is it?
It's never the driver.
He had fresh tires as well.
So both of you have got cars that you're happy with, but are you making changes before you go into the finals? How much are you going to be able to do before you get back into the semis?
I think ideally you would like to have that car dialed in at this point, so no major changes.
All right, well, there you see the points after qualifying. Niklas Grönholm on top. Johan Kristoffersson in that final qualifying run jumped up into second place ahead of Timmy and Kevin Hansen. And Ole Christian not too far behind as well. So it's a nice mix of the EV and the internal combustion engine machinery. And that's what this season is going to be all about. The cars should not define the performance. The FIA are trying to make sure that the cars are as close as possible in their potential performance. And that's part of what Andreas is doing with the test car being on track after every qualifying run, just to give them more data from the cars. Okay, so we're going to let the boys go in a moment or two because they've got semis to get on with as well. But we start with Euro RX3. Thank you to...
I just want to add into the WRX standing. You saw how tight it was between second and, was it sixth? Like, only 3-4 points in between everyone. Johan obviously winning Q4, going from P6 to second. Is that frustrating?
Yeah, of course it is.
Because
he always gets back.
He's been
he
off
always bounces up.
1, 2, 3, and then bam, the magic.
But you know, he deserves it. He put in a great lap there, and he just beat Niklas out of the Joker with a very defensive move there, and that really defined the entire intermediate standing. So if there was a virtual intermediate, it looked way different before the last corner and after it when Johan made that move. So great drive from him.
That's the name of the game.
I also see Niklas in flip-flops. You chilled. You're in the zone.
No stress.
No stress.
Finns always wear sliders. Okay, so we are getting ready as we send the boys on their way, because this is now going to be properly hurry up. We don't have 4 qualifying heats of RX3. We've only got 2 semis, so everybody is on their mettle. João Ribeiro on pole position. He's been the dominant force so far, one of our local Portuguese drivers. Liboteges on the other position on the front row in that white, black and red Audi. Then Sami Kovacs on row 2 in his Skoda, with Balázs Komochi, the blue and yellow on the Hungarians' VW Polo. Then Rogério Sousa and Václav Tuma. That's the grid for the first of our semis. All Audi row 1, 2 Skodas, a VW and a Ford Fiesta. And a mental reset here, because after 4 laps of qualifying, this is a 6-lap semi-final. Top 3 go through.
Johan has been so quick all weekend long. Another great start from him. Höljes went close in Q4, just not close enough.
Yeah, João Ribeiro really launching superbly there. Okay, so you're out front, the perfect start. This is still plan A for him, which is to lead into turn 1, Joker at the last possible moment, right?
Yeah, and you can see also on the dirt here, they water the track. We got Balázs getting hanging on around the outside in turn 1 and 2. Struggling there in traffic all the way down to last. We're joined here by Patrick O'Donovan. What are you saying?
Oh, I mean, there's some brilliant racing in there. I would absolutely be doing no justice to anybody there. I would be butchering their names if I was trying to say who the competition is between, if I'm being completely honest.
Job, is to butcher the names. Liboteges here, Sami Kovacs right behind him with the white, yellow and black. And we just saw that Rodrigo Sousa jokering on the first lap. Now, he was sort of 5th position, stuck behind somebody else, so he had to make that decision.
It looks like Höljes is we have a problem from Ribeiro. He went wide in the velodrome and lost the lead to Höljes, but coming back now on the inside into turn 5, he still got it, but remembering Sousa has jokered, so he's coming far, or he's coming fast from behind Kovacs as well.
So for Ribeiro, he was building up enough of an advantage that he could joker a little earlier if he wanted to.
He had the gap.
Now that's gone, so he's got to start again.
He's still in the lead. He has half a second to Höljes. He just need to hang on. It looks like they watered the track and prepped it for the semi-finals. Very nice turn 2 there by Ribeiro.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, it was a late joker call there for Kovacs, but to be honest, really smart from the spot. You know, there was carnage ahead. He knew the pack was going to be close. He knew he was going to be losing time as a result, and he just managed to get up there and get through to it.
Don't forget, only the top 3 go through. Everybody must joker. That's the little cross you can see on the right-hand side of our timing bar. Not a great joker lap there. Tuma struggling. Skoda just didn't look like it had the pace there. So it is still Ribeiro from Höljes.
He's pulling away again, doing 42.8, where Höljes did 43.3. Also seeing Kovacs that has jokered for 3.2. So the battle is definitely for second so far between Höljes and Kovacs.
The drop zone, though, is currently 3rd. And that is the blue and yellow car of Komochi. You can see Kovacs in 4th place, has already jokered, so he could end up in 2nd place if he's clean and fast now. Dropping in Höljes onto the joker lap. There he is in the background, so he's dropped down to 2nd, to 3rd, to 4th place. Now, his fight is with the car in front of him, not with the guys behind. Behind, they've already jokered.
No, I don't think Korsmuski has, or Yorkie as I call him, he has jokered.
Not yet, no. So the 2 guys in front still have to joker. So right now, Kovacs in 3rd place, looking like he might end up in 2nd, because he looks to be pretty much as quick as the car in front. 42.9 compared to 42.7 on the previous lap. Leaders in. Is that a gamble, Andreas?
No, it's a final lap, so both Ribeiro and Kormowski has to joker. It's going to be tight for third between Tejes and Kormowski.
Yeah, Kormowski's not got it. Tejes comes through.
Trying an undercut here in the last turn. Let's see where they end up for the line.
Oh, he's had to go the long way round the outside, and that's not working for him. So it is Tejes who goes through in third. Kovacs up to second, and Ribeiro goes through from the front of the field. He nearly threw it away.
Yeah.
Now, you talked, Andreas Bakkerud, about this huge crowd and about being a Portuguese favourite. And João Ribeiro nearly let all of that pressure inside the cockpit get to him. Well, he started superbly from pole, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was looking so good. 2 laps in, he was absolutely made in the shade.
He already got a gap from lap 1. I mean, here he have 5 car lengths to Tejes. A little bit Robin is racing there. Then a big mistake from Ribeiro, even hitting the concrete wall, which took out Nils Walland. Coming back, that's strong. Defending from the inside, and then took it home from there.
He was lucky there. He hit the wall square. If he'd gone in nose first, it would have taken a wheel off, and that would have been the end of his weekend. But he lives to fight another round. He will go through on the top of the pile here. He is in the final. The top 3 go through. So, Portuguese driver on pole for the first of our semi-finals in Euro RX3. Job done. He goes through ahead of the others.
Straight to pole position in the final, which is very crucial for this race here. He's had the best start of the whole field the whole weekend long, and the pace on track.
So no pressure on Joaquim Machado, who starts on pole position here in this second semi-final. Regis Kirklis is alongside him on the front row. On row 2, André Sousa and Lionel Sampaio. So 3 of the top 4 are Portuguese drivers hoping to make it through. Then the Antiguan driver, Nico Gillen and Jose Teixeira. So of the 6 in our semi, 1 at least of our Portuguese drivers cannot possibly go through because there are 4 Portuguese guys on the grid. So let's see where we get to with this one. Audi's the top 3 qualifiers, and then Skoda, Audi and Skoda. The machinery less important perhaps than track knowledge and technique. And is this now really where the spotter is as important as the driver?
Spotter is always important. They are your eyes and ears on track. So having a good spotter, giving you confidence when you drive, when you need it, when you need an extra spark to go faster, yeah, it's important. And it's a tight field. RX3 is very, very competitive, very tight, close racing from start to finish, and the joker is so crucial.
All right, so your front row, Joaquim Machado, Regis Kirklis, the Portuguese and the Lithuanian. Away we go. Good solid start, but look from row 2 coming up on the inside. André Sousa with the white nose on his Audi. He's looking to get inside Kirklis into turn 1. Did he do it? Yes, he did. Not quite, doesn't get the overlap, so round the outside. There's Kirklis with the lead from Machado.
I felt Kirklis had a slow reaction in the start there, going from first to second and third.
Sousa through on the inside, and that is Gillen, Nico Gillen, I think, from Antigua in the wall. Wow, this is busy. So Joaquim Machado, where did he end up? In 3rd place at the end of lap 1. It is André Sousa from 3rd on the grid who leads them across the line. Regis Kirklis behind him. There he is, car number 22. And then the first of the Skodas, the red and blue machine. That is Jose
double yellow
Teixeira
into the velodrome.
So Teixeira has come up from 6th on the grid into 3rd place. Now, of course, Machado and Gillen have chokered. And in from 3rd place goes
a big
Jose
cut over
Teixeira.
A big cut over the curb in the joker with Teixeira. He have it's going to be tight with Gillen's.
So he comes back. There's your leader, André Sousa. Now, he qualified strongly in most of his qualifying runs, ended up third for this grid.
And remember now, top 3 goes through to the final. Right now, the fight is between Machado and Görklis Teixeira.
So now it's about the spotter judging where the gap is. How far ahead can Sousa go? He's going to have to leave it to the last lap, isn't he, to try and make as big a gap as possible to that squabbling trio behind. And actually for Sousa and for Görklis, those 3 guys behind fighting each other, they're going to hold each other up.
They are. Definitely, it looks like Teixeira has got a little bit of... Machado has got a little bit of gap to Teixeira, which leaves him in clear air. He can put down the lap times. I see his last lap time is 42.8, so he's gaining 3/10 on Görklis, which did 43.17. But still Sousa is still the fastest man on track, 42.7, which is basically the same pace as Johan Ribeiro, actually quicker than Ribeiro. So yeah, he's on form.
Machado fastest on the previous lap, but it is Sousa, the leader, who is quickest at the moment.
And just did his Joker lap, slotting into P2. He has a hand on the ticket to the final. When Görklis now is going to take the Joker in the last lap, he's definitely going to slot in behind. If nothing happened.
Yeah, the question is, does he drop in ahead of Machado or behind him? Will he be 3rd or 4th? Flags waving. And they're all safely through. So Görklis must choke at this lap. Trouble behind. Teixeira and Gillian battling each other. Okay, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So Görklis had to stay out. He was committed to that, and it worked out for him in the end.
Sousa takes the flag ahead of Machado and Görklis. Great race.
So those 3 go through. Nico Gillian, Jose Teixeira and Leonel Sampaio do not make it through. So we now have our top 6, with André Sousa winning that one. Joaquim Machado and Rytis Görklis also go through to the RX3 final. Well, both of our semi-finals, this is very different in look and feel to qualifying, isn't it? Where you're trying to focus on yourself and your speed. Here, it's all about clawing your way to the top of the slippery pole.
Yeah, it was a very, very tight semi-final. We're also joined here by Rafaela. I would love to see you in the semi-final. You just missed out on a few points, didn't you?
Yes, I was very, very close to go to the semi-final, but it was close. But
if you'd start last, do you think you would be first into turn 1?
No.
Your start's been excellent so far.
Yeah, so. But I think in the last line it's difficult to get in first.
Yeah, these guys are good. What do you think of the final between Sousa and Ribeiro? Where's your money at?
Ribeiro has been really
quick and consistent.
Yes, consistent. I think he
is
made a mistake.
Driving quicker on lap time. You see here, Sousa did a 42.7 where Ribeiro did 42.8. Do you think that could be track evolution?
Yes, of course. I think the track is getting better and better.
Yeah.
But I think João Ribeiro, he gets calm, pretty calm, and focus on the racing. I think he's a good driver. He's been consistent all weekend, so I think he's going to make a good race.
Seeing one of our track building partners, Volvo's electric construction equipment. Now, this is not normally what they're used for. They're used for grading the gravel and the loose. But our construction partner, Volvo's EC, and thanks to Ascendum as well, one of Europe's biggest distributors of Volvo's electric construction equipment. They're our title sponsor here, and they've been responsible for helping the organisers completely remodel this fabulous Lousada track. Look at this crowd. Listen to this crowd. They're responding not just to the local drivers, as you would expect, but to everybody here. This is the first time the World Rallycross Championship has competed here in 17 long seasons. And we talked about this a little earlier, Raffaella. You are from 10 kilometers away from here, so your friends, your family, your school friends, everybody you've ever known is here. That's nice to be in front of such a big crowd, right?
Yes, I think being here with a lot of family and a lot of friends helps a lot the drivers.
Yeah. And this is the layout to the track with tarmac in the white sections and that loose section, the fast downhill, but there's no room for error. Concrete walls and metal barriers lap it all the way around. Andreas, this is a tough track.
It is a tough track. You have to be smooth and safe on tarmac, like slow is fast, really bring down the speed into turn 1, hug the inside barrier, let it loose in the exit over the little jump we have here, settling in the car for turn 2 onto the dirt, let it flow, let it go, full gas, let's spin the wheels into turn 3 and 4, which is the velodrome, kind of backing it in as you try to get a good exit, find the traction, and then you have to decide whether to take the joker lap to the right or the normal line straight ahead. In this case, we go straight into turn 5, which is a hairpin that tightens in the end using the rally terms. Then straight wheels, all the acceleration, up the gears you go, hard braking straight on the steering wheel, dun dun dun, into the hairpin, last turn off the track, handbrake, straight over the finish line.
That's a description from the fastest man in town this weekend, Andreas Bakkerud. Andreas, I've talked about that a couple of times, saying you're the fastest man on the track. You have actually set a quicker lap time in the FIA's test car than any of the competitors. So at least the FIA know the data they're getting is really valid.
Yeah.
But the fans will want to know when are going to see you in amongst it.
That's a good question, Martin. I would love to be back in the world. You know, my passion for rallycross in general is very, very high. I just started my brand new team called Belgian Motorsport Evolution. We started with a Ford Puma racing Super National in Norway. And we have a 3-year plan to come back to the World Championship, and right now for me to come back it's all about budget, sponsorship, stability, which FIA now is bringing in with calendar races, bringing the races to the fans, opening up with broadcasting on YouTube. I think they will bring in stability with earlier getting the calendar settled, making the job easier for drivers and team personnel to plan and budget the season. So yeah, planning and sponsors.
All right, here we go. Yuri Belevsky from pole position, alone on row 1. Nils Folland hit the wall hard in his Audi in the final qualifying run. Too much damage to radiators and intercoolers. Martin Endland from row 2 in the blue and yellow Ford Fiesta. He's in second place. Jose Oliveira in his Peugeot is in third. No Cesar Barrera, his Ford Fiesta, also not making it through. So one thing we know, that if these 3 cars finish this semi, they will go through into the final. So does that change the game totally? When you line up and there's only 3 of you, there's only one thing that can go wrong, and that's that you don't finish.
Yeah, I mean, look at Yuri. He's a world-class driver. Over the jump, flicks it in. Like, his pace today has been awesome. The confidence he's carrying, especially on the dirt, is amazing. His lap times in Q4 and 3 matched everyone's pace of the World Rallycross Championship. In all, like Johan, Kristoffersson, Niklas, all of them. He's driving with high confidence. It's awesome to look when he's driving. I love that car. The Audi is great. And Oliveira is being a little bit lucky here after 3 of the drivers not getting to the line, but still.
Well, he still qualified 4th, so it was always right on the cusp. You know, you're a couple of points away. We talked about, you know, and in World Rallycross as well, you know, the fastest driver, Belevsky here, or Nicolas Grönholm, a few points clear, and after that, almost no separation between any of our drivers. So
very, very tight. Martin Endlund, I know from Rally X, I think this is one of his first races in the FIA World Rallycross Championship in Euro RX. Has a very spectacular driving style. It's It's awesome to see. And he just recently last year started with supercars. So, but yeah, his driving style is really, really cool. Rafaela, are you joining us for the future, the next few races? Are you coming back for RX3 and more Euro RX?
I mean, it all depends on the sponsors, but I think for now, I'm just doing this race.
Yeah, what are you going to do to one day come back even stronger?
Yes, for sure. I mean, that's the dream, is doing the RX Euro Championship and maybe World someday.
I think you need to fly to Norway next winter. I'm going to show you a little bit with my Subarus and stuff. We can drive on the frozen lake. Have you ever been to a lake?
No, never.
Oh, that was tight racing.
Yeah, Englund almost spinning it there. Johan Oliveira goes around the outside. He's going to have to be brave. He is brave. That works. There is still grip out there offline. Englund's still there on the inside into turn 3. Good stuff. And again, it shows that was close to disaster. If he just nudged into the wall, he'd have got away with it. If he'd hit the wall harder, then he would have been in real trouble.
I think Oliveira also understood that he still has to take his joker, so he didn't go too hard on Englund, and knowing that there's only 3 cars in this semi-final, he kind of let go. Yeah. If this was fighting for the last position to the final, he would pull the elbows out even harder.
Definitely would. Yuri Belevsky, who was very relaxed when he joined us in the booth here in our second qualifying show this morning, and he just looks like he's absolutely on top of it here. So he dominates that one, wins comfortably. But he, Martin Englund and Jose Oliveira all go through into our final after this second of the first of the Euro RX1 semis.
A little bit slow reaction there from Oliveira, but Englund and Belevsky looked strong throughout the whole semi-final. Love to see the commitment from Belevsky. He's really dialed with that car. A little stop and go from Englund there, but he still had the inside line, and I think Johan Ribeiro tried to keep his car clean for the final.
Okay, Euro RX1, first of our events here at Lousada in Portugal. The question is, of course, where are we going next?
We are at the start of a brand new season for the FIA World Rallycross Championship. We have a fantastic calendar lined up with the old classics, some brand new tracks, a new old track here at beautiful Lousada. Calendar for this year, we start in Lousada, Portugal. This circuit has been renovated recently. Top-level rallycross hasn't been in for 17 years. There are supercars out on track. That puts a smile on my face, and there's going to be a smile on the face of the Portuguese fans here. This place was packed for the National Rallycross Round and the WRC, and that's why. Look at it, what a track. So, an old classic first of all, then we head up to another classic, Höljes in Sweden, the Magic Weekend, the legendary venue. Down then to the Red Cauldron, Nyirád in Hungary, then up into Finland for a brand new track at the Timmy Ring, and finally down to Turkey, Istanbul, super popular last year. Going to be an amazing season.
Who is that guy? He keeps popping up all the time. I don't know what's going on with that. Andrew Coley will be back in Höljes in a couple of weeks. He's just shivering in the Isle of Man watching the TT at the moment. But delighted to be joined by Nico Gillen from Euro RX. So Nico, talk us very quickly through your qualifying semi.
Well, qualifying on Saturday was a bit hard. Today was a bit better, better times, and semi was really intense. It was good fighting. Sadly not qualified for finals, but
it was a tight
race. Yeah,
it was. All the way to the line. Was it a little bit water on the gravel? Did it catch you with a surprise after the jump in turn
not
two?
Really, no. It was okay.
Yeah. Not too much mud on the windscreen and stuff?
No, honestly, no mud at all.
No.
No, it was okay.
So your first time at this track, like so many, what do you think about this place? It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, it's a very nice track, really tricky, not easy, but I love it. It's really nice. It's really cool.
All right, well, there's lots of fans waiting for lots more action. We're going to get there in just a second. Okay, so here we go. We are in Euro RX1. We are ready for our second semi-final. Now, semi-final one with a couple of cars dropping out made life very straightforward for Yuri Bilewski, Martin Lendl and Jose Oliveira. They all went through, but now somebody is going to feel the kiss of death. Will it be Laszlo Kiss on row 2, Antonio Sousa, who qualified 4th, or Damian Litvinovic, Mikko Limitainen? They're the front row starters, and handily in this one, everybody's car is black and red, apart from Antonio Sousa. So he's got the Sousa family colours on, so that's the white, blue and gold. But we're going to be picking the bones out of this one. Who's your money on here, Andreas?
I mean, Limitainen has been really quick. We see Litvinovic is also super competitive, struggling a bit more with the start. Someone that has got the start dial is Kish. His starts is bang on the money. As long as he get the reaction there, he can sneak inside Litvinovic. Let's see what happens into turn 1.
All right, well, I think we know who the fan favourite is going to be. He's on the outside, Antonio Sousa, and he's doing exactly what Rafael Barbosa did in qualifying yesterday, going the outside route, not looking at where the others were, but he gets into the loose and he's facing the wrong way, and that makes life very easy, makes the decisions very easy for some of their rivals.
If I was Litvinovic now, I would probably joker, because then you're coming clear air and you're ahead of Sousa, which had a spin in turn 1. But the Kish is going in there, clear air. If none of the other two would have jokered, I would probably stay out.
So Laszlo Kish's spotter is seeing that Sousa has had a problem. Go now.
Yeah.
And then you've got nothing to think about except just going as quickly as you can. And the others now have to strategize. Limitainen is already pulling away from Litvinovic.
Often you get the call from the spotter, joker if joker opposite. So if none goes, you should go. Yeah. Let's see now if Litvinovic want to cover up from Kish. It's not quite close enough to Limitainen to joker, and then 1 lap later you be ahead. So he needs to close that gap down to like on the bumper when he's going to the joker. That's very crucial if you want to win this semi-final. Also, you never know if Litvinovic is on old tires and Limitainen is on used, so it's hard for us to predict. It looks like, for me, that Limitainen is pulling away slightly. With a 38.1, both is having the same speed. Actually, Litvinovic is catching with 19 thousandths of a second. Sorry, 16.
So Litvinovic jokers this lap, and again, that's the call from the spotter. So the leader didn't joker, so he did.
That's a very nice and tidy joker lap.
He's comfortably clear of Laszlo Kish in the back of the shot there. So now the pressure is back with Limitainen.
My ex-rival, Krzysztof Skorupski from Poland, is Litvinovic's spotter. Very clever guy. I've worked a lot with him. Very big respect. One of the best drivers I've ever raced with. Would love to see him back in World Rallycross driving himself, but I think he's enjoying life as a spotter and a team principal.
A little bit more cloud cover today. The wind is starting to pick up as well, and that might help visibility.
So Limitainen not covering up. Does this mean that Litvinovic is getting closer, or is he pulling away? There's a gap now on the monitors is 3.9, which is good enough. So normally they do the joker to cover up whenever they have the gap.
Well, he's obviously decided they can hold that margin to the final lap.
Yeah, as I predicted, around a second gap to Litvinovic. This is obviously the final lap, so you have to take the joker. I must say, Limitainen looks very dialed with the Hyundai from FIA RX. A little bit of understeer mid-corner there, but good exit anyhow.
Yeah, more than enough to come out, and it looks like the predictor was about right. Should be just a second or so ahead at the line. And that will put him on the front row of the final. And so it was all over in the first corner for Sousa, wasn't it, Rafaela? You know, this isn't qualifying now, it's every single metre of the track is important. And if you make a mistake, you're out.
Yes, it was only 4 cars, but he had a spin in the first corner, so I think the race for him was over.
Yeah, that's a real shame. But listen, the announcer is giving you a big shout out for the fans. Yeah, it's tough, you know, you come to your home event and then, yeah, it just doesn't go your way. And that is sport as well. It's not always the way that you think it's going to be, but he gets a standing ovation from the crowd. Okay, so our second semi-final in Euro RX1.
Very even start. I saw Kish had a very good start, but he had to brake because there was no room to go. If I was him, I would just push Lemmertinen and get to P2 quicker. But yeah, a spin there for Sosa. A bummer not have him in the mix. Would be a nice race.
Yeah, because that puts extra pressure on the other three guys, whereas they're, as soon as that spin happened, their spotters are going, okay, just focus on yourself. Now you can just look at getting the better position.
Yeah, nice little cut there from Lemmertinen in the Joker. Nice and tidy. That Hyundai looks dialed. I would like to test that car one day.
All right, so huge crowd here at Lousada, and really, really good, the reception from the first day, from Thursday evening when our drivers here were introduced to the fans. A great opportunity. And Nico, coming here for the first time, were you told to expect that huge number of fans on Thursday evening?
I was expecting a lot of fans, but not that much, not that many, honestly. And I wasn't expecting all the support from them as well.
It's super cool, though, like first weekend in the World Championship arena of the season, and it's just a massive sellout crowd. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it really shows why we're coming here, you know. It's for the fans as well. Without them, we wouldn't be here, and we love it.
And half of those fans, Raphael, are watching you and going, yeah, I want to do that. Dad, I want to do that. You've probably cost a lot of dads a lot of money over the next few years, inspiring young women to come and compete.
Yeah, for sure. And me personally, I encourage them for girls to start racing. So I think the dads don't like it.
Yep.
Getting bold and grey here.
Girls have just as much chance, as we will find out in World RX. Well, I've been to the Nürburgring, I've been to a whole host of big races, the 24 hours at Le Mans, where you expect the big crowds. This is at least as lively as any of those. Really, really turned out the whole town for this action. Now then, we've been focusing on drivers, on their lap times and so on, but we have been talking about the difference between the cars in World RX. Andrew Coley has more.
So this season sees a continuation of the battle of the technologies, meaning the teams can choose to use internal combustion or electric power. Now those cars have different advantages and disadvantages, mainly based around power output and weight. Johan is out in the electric car here. OC Baby is out in the internal combustion car. Behind them we've got the two Hansens in the electric cars. But this one is absolutely key. Andreas Bakkerud has been out in this. Now this is our benchmark car, so he goes out and does a run in this. He then takes one of these cars randomly. The teams don't know when he's going to come, so they can't put a bad setup on the car. He does laps in one of the internal combustion cars, laps in one of the electric cars, then back to this again to check the conditions are the same. And all that data then, a team of 6 very clever engineers will decide how to equalise the technologies, EOT, equalisation of technology. Likely a little bit of weight in this and a little bit less power in the electric cars, but the people that are sorting that out are a lot cleverer than me.
So the FIA's benchmark car, if you like, this man, Andreas Bakkerud, the single fastest lap time of the weekend so far. So it's fair to say, I think, Andreas, that they're getting the data they need from that car. And of course, when you've got an independent benchmark, they know that it's being run to its maximum potential. They know you're driving the wheels off it. So they know how fast cars can go. And that means that the data they get from the electric cars, from the internal combustion cars in World Rallycross, all feeds into that as well. So you've got some benchmark scores that you could look at.
Yeah, and I will come back also saying that setting quick lap times out here also makes sure that, okay, I still got it, you know. Because it's been a while since I drove a supercar, but the feeling is good. Also on the EOT test, when I drove all the other cars, I was right there on pace, so it feels good, you know. And also for me, driving out here after everyone's doing their heats, the track is probably the best. But yeah, still setting good and quick, consistent lap time, so still got it.
The old boy's still got it. And so if you're watching out there and you like rallycross and you might be running a company that can help, Andreas Bakkerud would love to be back. He will be back, hopefully, in Höljes. And the wind is still picking up. Now then, opportunity for you to have your say. Of course, you can always comment on our live stream on YouTube, but we also are setting up a competition. What we want is best of. We're going to be doing this at every round through the championship. And first of all, best overtakes in World Rallycross. Not necessarily this weekend, not necessarily of Andreas's career, not necessarily the one that didn't work in 2019, but best overtakes you can think of. It could be Martin Schanker, Kevin Hansen, Per Eklund. It could be some of the old boys. It could be literally from this weekend. Come through on the social media, go to all the World Rallycross socials and have your say. And of course, because he's not here, we're going to load more work onto Andrew Coley. He's going to be the man who judges the top 5, and we will tell you when we get to Höljes what the top 5 rated overtakes have been in World Rallycross. So everybody wandering around behind us, we're on the edge of the paddock as we get ready for the cars to head down to the semis.
See Litwinovic is avoiding us. We're trying to get him into the... he's coming back. He's coming back with some very fast Pit Vipers studio.
Well, yeah, what he didn't want to do is walk in the back of the TV shot, so we'll welcome. So Damien Litwinovic, okay, tell us about your run through the semi-final then.
Yeah, it was pretty good. First time I think I have a pretty decent start. Before was shit all the time. Yeah, but now was very good. So yeah, I'm really into the final to make the same. Now I will be starting the second line. So yeah, I will.
It was nice and consistent driving, like stable. Limatainen was just a little bit quicker every lap, but you matched him on speed several laps. Then the last few laps, then he pulled away.
You know, I don't know where he gained to me, or some sector, or.
It looked like the last turn.
Last turn, yeah. There I'll lose a lot.
Yeah.
That was like thinking. Yeah.
So that's the weird thing about slow corners. They cost you more time than the fast corners ever do. But you're in the final. You've got a chance of a podium. Should be good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, World Rallycross. I'm going to let Damien go because he's got to, well, cool down before the finals. He's absolutely running with sweat. Even though today is a fraction less hot, the cars are still like ovens inside. So we go into our first semi-final for World Rallycross. Fastest qualifier, Niklas Gronholm with Timmy Hansen alongside him. So 2 EV cars on row 1. Ole Christian Foby and Juha Ridkonen on row 2, internal combustion engine cars, and another petrol engine on row 3 with French driver Anthony Pelfren in his Peugeot 208. So that is the lime green machine at the back. And again, as we've seen in Euro RX3 and Euro RX1, the fast 3 go through. So this is not about lap time, this is about being in front at the flag. And another good launch from Gronholm. Hansen trying to hold on around the inside, Foby coming up inside him. But it is Hansen who's onto the dirt in second. And as we saw in 2 or 3 of the qualifying heats, Gronholm goes off the line and gets his nose in front.
Yeah, he's been stable all weekend long, and yet again in the final here, bang on in the start, same as Timmy. Timmy had a harder job from the outside. Here we see Ole Christian diving into the Joker lap, obviously hoping probably Pelfren would join him, but he still has clear air now for at least a lap. It's a tight start there between the EV cars, between the CE dealer team and Peugeot Hansen. Let's see if Timmy can catch up the gap on 7/10.
And don't forget those little symbols. The water drop is not water, that's fuel. The electric voltage, that's the EV cars. So Gronholm, Hansen, the EV cars out front. Ridkonen, the first of the internal combustion engine cars at the moment. And still, Ole Christian, okay now. So Anthony Pelfren jokers as well. So he jokers from 4th place.
Looks like Timmy has a little bit more speed than Niklas at the moment, and he is being under pressure from Ole Christian Baby, which is in 5th now, just on the rear bumper for Pelfren. Does it look like?
Yeah, Timmy closed 3/10 on the last lap, but actually Now he's in the dirt, now he is in all of that dust being thrown up, then his visibility is a little limited. And we talked about this before. Raffaella, when you're in the dust, you can't see the concrete walls.
Yes, in Saturday was happening to me in Q1, I think, that I couldn't see that much, and you kind of go blind and you don't know what to wear.
It's a bummer for Ole Christian now in the back of Pelfren, making a big chance now for Johan Ritkonen to catch up on Grönholm and Hansen to gap maybe. No, it looked like maybe overtook Pelfren, but obviously losing on 1-2 laps there behind Pelfren.
So his only chance is the joker for Ritkonen. Is Hansen jokering this time?
Looked like a late call joker lap, but I think it was in the right window. Also, Johan Ritkonen diving into the joker.
Yeah,
probably
Kevin
going to
Hansen is his spotter, Timmy, so he's dialing him in, and that leaves Grönholm free out front, but Hansen was quicker.
Final lap now, so it's all in between Timmy and Niklas.
Niklas must joker on this final lap. He's got no option. That was the plan that they chose.
That has been very tight between Niklas and Timmy. Right now the prediction says Niklas, and he's going to come in or come out from the joker on the inside of Timmy. Super wide and a big slide from Niklas there. He loses a lot.
Carried the speed, hasn't he? The predictor's wrong. Grönholm comes out in front. Hansen's not carrying the same.
We're going to see on the cut.
Around the outside. But that exit off the joker lap, Andreas, is you're on the inside into the hairpin, which is where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crucial to take the joker in the last lap, having the inside line into the last turn, but you better watch out. It's easy to get undercut there over the checkered flag.
So Niklas Grönholm takes it by, in the end, 36 hundredths. Timmy Hansen in second. Ole Christian goes through in third. And that means there is no final for Juha Ritkonen and Anthony Pelfren. And Pelfren at the back there, like Patrick O'Donovan, didn't do the test day last week, and so is 40-50 laps of experience shy on all the guys in front of him. So I don't think he was expecting to get through into the final.
Very equal start in between all of them, even between EV and ICE cars. Maybe grid number 2 and 3 is quicker and better than the first grid.
Yeah. Ole Christian, that was the pass on Anthony Pelfren. And then Timmy Hansen making the most of his joker. But Niklas Grönholm just having the speed on the last lap joker to hold off Hansen to the line and claim that front row spot. So, last semi-final of the day. We're going to stay live as we then cycle through to all of the finals. What can this man do? Our reigning champion, Johan Kristoffersson. A great final qualifying run from him puts him on pole for this semi, so he's given himself the very best opportunity. Of course, he's got a Hansen with him. Kevin's on the outside of the front row. Then Clara Anderson and Patrick O'Donovan. There's Clara. So for Patrick, he's almost within touching distance of the top 3 in the final. There's 2 real battles here, and they're probably going to be separate. And it's going to be Hansen Kristoffersson, and then it's the battle for third between Clara and Patrick, and that's going to be just as tense for both of them.
We have seen Johan and Kevin battling it out in the previous season, especially everyone remember Hungary. It's going to be a tight start. Let's see if Johan, if he feels like he's losing the start to Kevin, if he's going to start running out to meet him, or if Kevin is trying to avoid it.
All right, here we go. Second World Rallycross semi of the season. Okay, let's reset. There is row 2 of the grid. Patrick O'Donovan, Clara Anderson. But the grudge match on the front row. On pole, Johan Kristoffersson. And alongside him, 71, Kevin Hansen. Blimey, giving the Iceman vibes there, Johan, isn't he? There is nothing interfering with his focus.
He looks focused, definitely.
He really does. So rallycross, touring cars, he's done it all. He can really lock in. And from seeming to be a little bit out of it yesterday in qualifying, today he's coming with a bullet. He's really attacked hard.
Yeah, I spoke with him this morning, and he needed everything to be dialed in for Q3. He had some issues with and hiccups with the engine, which they sorted for Q3, and bang, he came back and grabbed all the points.
Yes, he did. Mechanical problems have not distracted him. They tries, they watch the lights. And we are going in Lousada for the final semi-final. And Hansen tries to close down Kristoffersson into turn one. Clara Anderson, as so often, is right in there behind the race leader. She's in third ahead of Patrick O'Donovan. But it was Hansen who was denied. Kristoffersson just went straight off the line, didn't waver at all in his line. His eyes were just on turn one.
He did an amazing start, probably the best start they've done all weekend. He was right there on the EV cars. Kevin going to the Joker, a little bit surprising to take the Joker the first lap, letting Clara and Patrick in clear air.
Well, that's a little bit of a danger potentially for him, because from qualifying, they're not likely to be as quick as him, which means he has now put himself not behind Johan, but behind two slower cars. Should he have waited for them to have Joker first?
It's hard to say. I think he did do it because he want to beat Johan fair and square on pace. On testing here, Kevin's been the closest to Johan, and let's see now when Patrick goes to the Joker, another lap now for Kevin in clear air. It's going to be an interesting race. I think Johan has a slight advantage on pace compared with Kevin, but we have seen on testing very, very equal.
Kevin not quite up behind Clara Anderson yet, but he would have been right behind Patrick O'Donovan if Pod hadn't jumped into the Joker lap at that stage.
So previous lap, Johan did a 37.29, where Kevin did 37.30. So, like, what is it? 10,000
hundredths of a second, yeah, 6,000, so in fact less than that between the two of them.
Johan in the Joker.
Okay, here we go. This is absolutely critical now for Johan. He's just got to be as neat and tidy as possible. Comes out behind the CE dealer team car of Clara Anderson now. She still has to Joker.
So he definitely felt the pressure from Kevin. So Tommy reacted by putting Johan into the Joker. Not normal tactic from them, because they normally rely on Johan's pace, and normally when he's driving in clear air ahead up front, nobody's catching him.
But Kevin was narrowing that margin. If they didn't go there, the danger was there wouldn't be enough time to come back out in front. So Clara Anderson is not the challenge, because she's still got to Joker. So she does now, and that frees up Johan in front of Kevin. So the battle is on. Lap 4 of 5, on to the final lap, and Kevin Hansen now has to try and figure a way of forcing an error out of Johan Kristoffersson. They do happen, but good luck with that.
Yeah, I say that's the best way of saying it. Good luck with that.
So looking back, and actually a little less dirt being thrown up today, and I don't know whether that's because the sun isn't baking the top surface so much, but it's just a little bit better for visibility. Not enough for Kevin Hansen, not close enough to have a last lap lunge at the hairpin. It is semi-final 2 victory for Johan Kristoffersson. Kevin Hansen goes through, and Clara Anderson. Patrick O'Donovan's lack of laps probably what cost him here. And was that a spin in the final lap as well, or has he just stopped to do a donut or two? Well,
it's been a challenging weekend for Patrick. Yeah. He's really been pushing hard, but I think this track doesn't really suit his driving style. I mean, he's a very, very big talent, and he has all the time in the world to catch up, but yeah, he needs to dial it 100% to strike back in Höljes.
That looks like the car is not square. That looks like he might have a right rear problem, but we'll wait and see. Patrick O'Donovan does not go through to the finals, but the reigning Euro RX1 champion has got plenty of opportunity to make it to the top of the pile as the season progresses. So Johan Kristoffersson, icy focus. Watch the line as he goes away from us. Does he move out towards Hansen? He does not. It's all about him there, Andreas. He's just focused on his braking point.
It was a mega start. I mean, the EV car is easier to start with, and having an ice car starting as well as an EV car, that's great job by KMS and Johan himself.
And again, great work by the spotter, brought him out just in front of Kevin. Clara Anderson at that stage, not the threat. It was about
oh, there we see the spin from...
Yeah.
That was actually a very nice spin, to be honest, but he lost drive on the front wheel, so double donuts, fans go crazy.
Fans go crazy indeed. And lots for the fans. I'm sure everybody, Rafaela Barbosa, I'm sure everybody yesterday in those open seats was really hot. Today is a little bit more human.
Yes, for sure. I mean, the sun is hot, but not as much as yesterday. So even for the public is better.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, yesterday a shopping day, so everybody's getting their week's food shopping in. Today, all the family is out, and it is absolutely full of fans. So Lousada's semi-finals are done. We have 3 races left to decide our podiums in Euro RX3, Euro RX1 and World Rallycross. Stay with us as we remain live here across the globe, wherever you are. Thank you for being with us for the season opener. We will be back with all the action. We will continue live wherever you are watching. So the finals are coming up. Rafaela will stay with me, and my partner in crime has disappeared. So this is the way it's going. So next action the fans will be watching will be for our cross carts, and that is those are little single-seater carts like the RX 150s that you've seen at British Rallycross events over the years. They have their final. Then we go into the finals for Euro RX3, for Euro RX1 and for the World Championship. So that will be the final race of the day, and as I said, we will stay here live. Now then, without whom we could not be doing this, there's a long list of people: the FIA, the organisers here in Lousada, the officials, the track workers, the marshals, but especially our friends at Höljes. They supply the tyres for all of our categories. Andrew Coley has more.
We've just been talking about progression within the classes. We've got progression within the sole tyre supplier, Höljes tyre as well. It is much softer this year. That's going to give the drivers much better traction off the launches. We're going to see some great battles on the run down to turn 1. And of course, on the mixed surface battleground, that is Rallycross.
I'm here with Niklas, pole sitter now for the final. What's the feeling?
Of course, it's good. It's been going our way. Now the semi-final was tighter than expected. I didn't have the best feeling than in this one, but yeah.
I could just hear from the filming, your tire was screaming in the Joker. What happened there?
No, I had a good push because I knew it's going to be fairly tight. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't the perfect run. We have to find something for the final to fight for the win. But of course, I'm very pleased with the day so far.
In between the semi-final and the final, I see you have a clock here, 22 minutes, 43 seconds. What's to be done?
I think cool the car. The batteries are running quite high in temp because of the weather. And yeah, get some drink, see what we can from the V-box and data, and yeah, then just try to stay cool as a driver.
Kiitos, olla hyvä.
Yeah, got to cool the cars, got to cool the drivers as well. So what does that all mean then for our grids? We've seen the semi-finals. Let's take a look at how they are going to line up. The front row, it will be Grönholm on pole position with Johan Kristoffersson alongside him. Timmy and Kevin Hansen on row 2, so that should be fun. Rafaela with the Hansens on row 2 behind Grönholm and Kristoffersson. Who do you see coming out on top of this?
I don't know. Grönholm has been doing very good starts. Also, Kristoffersson made one really good in semi-finals, so I don't know. the Hansens are really great too. But they are in the second row, so it's gonna be more difficult for them.
Yes, it is. And the battle of technologies, front and centre on row 1. Niklas Grönholm in the EV from CE Dealer Team, and internal combustion from KMS, and Johan Kristoffersson in the Golf. So, EV cars on row 2, the 2 electric Peugeots of the Hansen family, and Clara Anderson also for CE Dealer Team, bringing volts to the line. Ole Christian bringing the noise. So, the KMS Motorsport cars, both there, both Hansen cars there, and both CE Dealer Team cars there. It's a good combination of technologies, but what it is a mouth-watering lineup of driving talent. Now, Raffaella, where you are in Euro RX3, when you're racing in the National Championship, the cars are very similar, and so it's up to the driver to make the difference, and that happens all the way up the ladder. The driver can make a difference.
Yes, for sure. Of course, the car is very important, but the driver has to do all the job on the track and avoid any mistakes and be focused. It's the more important thing.
And in your case, learning a new car. So this is your job for the season, is to learn how the car works and then learn how you can get the best out of it.
Yes, I'm usually in my car. I drive with a manual shift, so this one is different, and I was getting used to the car, so I didn't practice as much, so I was getting better even race.
All right, Andreas with Ole Christian. Let's catch up with him for a moment.
Ole Christian, a big chance for you there going to the Joker the first lap. Obviously, getting stuck behind Pelfren. How annoyed were you?
Yeah, I mean that's how it is. We took a gamble, you know, on jokering on the first lap, and unfortunately I got stuck behind him a bit, and also for sure I lost some time on even passing him on the track. So that's how it is. We are in the final now, and it's now where the real points will be handed out. So
is there a lot of job on the car to do before the final?
No, not really. Just small adjustments, and then just cool everything down, I think, and we're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, now, this is what the fans have been watching. We've been bringing you the action from Euro RX3, Euro RX1 and World Rallycross, but in addition has been this junior category. So a couple of jump starts already there from the both front row starters in cross-kart. Now, as you can see, Raffaella, these are single-seater, motorbike engined, off-road specials. So these machines they're a class on themselves, but it's also a good way of learning how to drive on the loose on a rallycross track with a small budget. So for younger drivers particularly, this is a good place to start.
Yes, for sure. Me personally, I just tried these cars, and it's a lot of fun and really teach you how to drive and get confident with the cars.
All right, so here we go. As they leave the line, let's catch up with some of our World Rallycross finalists. Andreas is down in the Hansen garage.
All right, Timmy, finishing second, just behind Johan, Niklas there in the semi-final. I feel on new tires. You guys were on new tires.
Yeah.
Very, very tight in between you.
Yeah.
What can you do to improve and get that podium win? I don't know. What do you feel?
At the moment now, it was just track position, so I felt like I was quicker than Niklas, but of course he was ahead. I didn't want to start battling because Baby was behind as well, so I didn't want to lose time there, but I felt quicker than Niklas now that we put new tires on. I was a bit worried after Q4 that I wasn't quick enough, and yeah, I wasn't quick enough, but it surely helped to put some fresh rubber on.
It wasn't much in between the EV cars and the ICE cars on the start. Do you think starting up front is worse than row 2?
What do you think?
Well, I would say normally EV cars has better starts than what you and Niklas had.
Yeah, it was very clear from the FIA that the internal combustion has a small advantage early on because of the lower weight, and then we gain at the end of the straight. So the longer the straight, the bigger our advantage, and the shorter we won't have an advantage.
Thank you, Timmy.
Nice action from this opening couple of laps of the cross-kart final here in Lousada. Again, this is one of the support championships for the Portuguese National Series. And so, Euro RX3, drivers like Rafael Barbosa, our guest this weekend, you're here with the World Championship, but actually this is a round of the Portuguese Championship as well, and that's what you'll be doing for the rest of the year.
Yes, for sure. I'm doing the National Championship this year. It's going great. I came already to Lousada, race here. Not that great, the race, because I couldn't finish. The car had some problems, but it was great.
So first time in Lousada, not so great. This time, every time you've been out, every qualifying run, you've been getting quicker and quicker, more comfortable with the car, and that must make you feel good. Okay, you didn't get into the semis, but every time you went out, you were faster, and that's what you need from this year.
Yes, I already know the track, so it was an advantage, but I didn't know the car, so I'm getting more comfortable even every race, and I think that's great because I could get faster every single race.
All right, Clara Anderson in the CE dealer team. Let's see what she's got to say to Andreas Bakkerud.
As a driver, it's important to cool down and ease down in between the sessions. And I'm sat here with Clara Anderson. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if we are on air or not, because the red light is not on. But so we sat here with Clara Anderson in between the semi-final and the final. And normally, being a driver, you would like to cool down in between the races. But that's impossible in your tent because it's like 50 degrees. What do you say?
Yeah, it's very, very hot for sure.
I know half your team is Finnish, so it's like a sauna.
Yeah, but hopefully it will be a little bit cooler now for the final.
What's your plan to get from the back row up front? Elbows out?
Absolutely. Now we have some better tires on, so now it's maximum attack.
Best of luck for the final. Let's head back to Martin.
Lots of action here. This is busy stuff. So, Rafaela, you've had the first two rounds of the championship here in Lousada. Where do you guys go next? What's your next event?
Next event is Vertvoga. It's about 1 hour from here. I love that track. It's very fast. Let's go out. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully win the race and the others too.
Excellent. So you're in a Mondello as well later on during the season. So again, a track that World Rallycross fans will know really well. Great to see these cars cornering on the dirt, but when they are on the tarmac and that back end really bites, you can see them waving the inside wheel. That just shows the compliance in the suspension that you need when you're racing on the loose. And again, it means that the inside wheel is hovering over the curb there. He's not riding the curb, he's just waving over the top of it. This is a great race from Castro from pole position. And actually Pinheiro, who started outside front row, having a very disappointing first lap, but it is victory for Castro. Dominated that from pole position all the way through, saved the Joker to last. When you're leading, that's your chance. You can decide what you do with the rest of the race, and he made that look really good. Even with the Joker, he still finished half a second clear, so impressive stuff. And those guys will be competing in the national championship.
Oh, I love to see the donuts
as well.
Yes, yes, yes. By the way, I'm back in the studio.
He's back in the room. So there you go, that is the cross-kart final here, round 2 of the championship from Lousada. Sergio Castro, Jorge Gonzaga and Pedro Marques in 3rd place. So that is your podium. And everybody making sure that those motorcycle engines are revving their bits off and leaving as much rubber smoke as possible.
Yes.
Well, he looks like a happy boy, doesn't he?
He's one of the strongest competitors in the championship.
Yeah, so he started from pole position, and what a launch. And you see Pinheiro on the outside absolutely did not get the start right. Got tangled up in the battle in 2nd place, but then I don't think the Joker worked out for him. But Sergio Castro out front. Yeah, definitely showing that he is one of the strongest competitors in cross-kart here in Portugal. Dominating from start to finish, built a big lead and a comfortable joker lap. Still so easy to make a mistake there, but he kept his nose in front all the way to the checkered flag.
At the same time, we see Belevsky getting ready for pole position in Euro RX 1.
So Andreas, it's we've talked about the battle of technologies between the electric cars and the internal combustion engine cars, and Johan Kristoffersson, I think we've been very impressed with his final qualifying runs today and getting himself into that front row spot after what looked like a troubled start to the weekend yesterday.
I mean, that's where Johan is so good. I mean, whenever he needs to perform, he is performing excellent. So yeah, it's been cool to see. He's mega.
All right, here we go. Euro RX3 and João Ribeiro on pole position ahead of Andre Sousa. So our two winners with Joaquim Machado and Sami Kovacs on row 2, Libor Tejes on row 3. So it looks as though we have a great opportunity for a Portuguese win, but this ain't qualifying. This isn't even a semi-final. This is where the pressure comes. Now, Andreas, I just watched this stuff. You've been here, done that. When you're sitting on the grid for the final, how hard is it to just put that pressure behind you and keep your mind clear?
I normally say, when you get nervous, your mind is sharp and you perform. If you can use that as your friend and benefit, then trust in that.
Yeah.
But this is not easy. I'm telling you, Ribeiro on pole in his home country, in his hometown. Is he from the region here?
Yes, he's from here.
Oh, amazing. Even better.
So two Portuguese drivers, Sousa on the outside with the gold highlights, Ribeiro.
Another great reaction.
He is so good off that pole position. Almost as good as Rafaela, so she leaps into the lead. Oh, and Kovacs with the yellow, white and black, not making the greatest start. Drops from third on the grid down to, might get eased out down to fifth. He does get eased out down to fifth, I think.
It's a little battle there in between Kovacs and Gertlis, which lost a bit of time to Jess. Is on the outside, which he should have jokered there. Nobody jokered the first lap. Yeah. Very, very strange.
And Gertlis dropping down to fifth place ahead of Libor Tejes in car number 14. So Gertlis with the green highlights, the Lithuanian driver. Now he's in a bit of a hole because nobody's joking on lap 1.
Ribeiro already getting the gap he really wants from Sousa there. Sousa, which did really, really good lap times in his semi-final and also in Q4, has saved his energy, ready to battle Ribeiro for the last final of the weekend. Went a little bit wide there, probably losing a little bit to Ribeiro. You can see on the monitors now the gap is up to 1.3 seconds as we see the Jess going to the joker. I personally feel he should have jokered a lap earlier.
Yeah, that might be too little too late. He was on the back anyway. He's just going to be further back. So what about the battle for second and third? Sousa 104, Machado 126 behind him. To me, Machado looks like he could be quicker, and so he needs to get out of the dirt behind Sousa. He needs to joker now, yes?
Yeah, I would say Machado, if he jokers now, he will be in the battle with Kovacs and Gertlis. So you need to watch out. Let's see now if he joker or not. Yeah, he does.
Well, he's going to come out behind
and
those
for
two.
him, Gertlis is also jokering now, so that opens up a window. So this could be falling into the hands of Machado. Do I say it correct? Machado.
Yes,
yeah?
correct.
I'm sorry to all the locals. Me and names, I grew up with dyslexia. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I still can't write.
Well, at least you can drive, so, you know, we've all got our own skills. Ribeiro, Sousa, and now Kovacs up to third place. The white car with the black and yellow highlights there. He is, but Machado has jokered. So Kovacs now has to... he's got to go last lap. He's got to build a gap.
Sosa is going.
Guaranteed to drop down. So Sosa, where's he going to come in?
He's going to try to cover for Machado. Oh, it's going to be tight, but I think he has it.
Yes, he has. Excellent. Now Machado, is he going to nudge him down into the hairpin? No, he keeps it clean.
Oh, it's nothing in between them. No, if they battle too much now, there's still 2 laps to go. Kovacs has a little gap, so if he can pull more gap to them, he could take second.
Machado shows his nose on the inside. He doesn't want to finish third. He doesn't want to finish fourth, but he would much prefer to be ahead of Sosa. But that's cost him ground.
Absolutely.
When you try and make a move and it doesn't work,
Ribeiro
you end up paying the price.
Ribeiro from the lead takes Joker, and he has all the room in the world, even though Kovacs haven't been jokering. Let's see now in the last lap if Kovacs can manage to gap Sosa and Machado even more.
Oh,
good
Judges,
pass.
dive bombs, Geerkes into the hairpin.
Proper. Oh,
okay.
Robin's racing, and Rallycross is Robin. Nice.
Now then, this might save Kovacs, because those two are now just taking themselves out of the equation. The real problem for him, though, is how close Sosa and Machado are together, these two. Where's Kovacs going to come in here?
I think he's going to be P4.
Between them? Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he didn't make enough gap on lap 5 to Sosa and Machado.
Yeah, they're only 2.7 back.
I think Machado did a mistake.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He gave away that podium spot. Checkered flag is out. João Ribeiro takes it. And second place is going to be Andrés Sousa, a Portuguese 1-2. But Samuel Kovacs takes the final spot. Last lap, it all went wrong for Machado. That had everything ready for a Portuguese 1-2-3.
Rafael, I could see you twisting your hands when you saw Machado doing a mistake there. Were you angry or were you happy or what?
I mean, a podium with 3 Portuguese would be perfect, but I'm happy with 2.
Oh, I love the flares and I mean, what do you call the smoke?
Yeah, exactly right. Well, okay, that is a mistake there that Machado is going to try desperately to forget. But it is Samuel Kovacs who takes third, Andrés Sousa second. João Ribeiro is our winner here in Lousada in Euro RX3. Dramatic stuff, and it came from the first corner all the way to the last pretty much in the Euro RX3 final.
Another amazing start. I mean, he's been bang on every start, every turn. Without the semi-final, he did a mistake in the velodrome, but since that, he's never looked back. He just looks dialed with the car. I mean, it's easy when you have it like that. You know, it works for you. Oh, look at the dive bomb from Höljes. Probably the overtake of the weekend so far. So put that one in the mix with the competition we're running.
Well, and it shows that that is a viable overtaking opportunity. Dive bomb into the hairpin. Everybody is standing the car on its nose. If you're just more desperately late, you can get away with it. But there was no question there at all. A demonstration run to the checkered flag.
Rafaela, if you got to choose to enter one of the next few races, what track would you like to drive on?
Oh, that's difficult. I don't know. I come to most of the tracks of the Euro Championship with my father, but I never drove in the other one, so I really don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to answer that question from the driving seat, not just following Dad around the European Rallycross Championship. So, like the family business here with the Hansens, so too with Rafaela. Her dad was a top European Rallycross driver, and so following in the family footsteps. So we've got Euro RX1 to come, but you can see our World Rallycross drivers are getting ready for the last action this weekend. 2 more finals to come, live from Lousada. Let's take a look at our grid for the final of the Euro RX1 here, the season opener in Lousada, Portugal. Juri Bilewski has been the class of the field. He starts on pole position from Mikko Limatainen, Damian Litvinovic, and on the outside of the front row, row 2 rather, Martin Englund with Laszlo Kiss and Jose Oliveira. Are the top 3 going to make it through, Andreas Bakkerud?
It's hard to say how turn 1 is gonna end. Limatainen, I know that car. It's one of the best cars ever on the start. Next to him is, well, Bilewski is in pole. We get some ice cream here from Pod Patrick O'Donovan. Thank you very much. It's hot. Let's get going for the start.
So Juri Bilewski behind him, Litvinovic and Englund on row 2.
Very even start, but I think Bilewski has it.
On a great start from 5th, 6th either. Contact there, Englund getting shoveled out, down to 4th place, 5th place in turn 1. But Juri Bilewski has the lead right behind him. Good strong start from Damian Litvinovic from 3rd on the grid. He got ahead of Mikko Limatainen, those 2 white, black and red machines.
Litvinovic managing to squeeze ahead of Limatainen into turn 1. He has been struggling with his starts all weekend long, but finally it worked out in the semi-final and also now in the final. It's going to be a close race till the last lap. Let's see if Limatainen is working his way on the undercut. Not this lap.
And they've been joined by
Kiss is dive bombing.
Laszlo Kiss.
Maybe Limatainen has an issue.
Drift out wide. Yeah.
Nice racing there.
Up 1, down 1, but he had a good stab at it. Martin Englund and Joao Oliveira both jokering on that lap. Behind me, Patrick O'Donovan, who brought the ice pops. Not quite sure how we're going to eat the man commentate, but
Bilewski already have the gap he wants. Limatainen and Litvinovic is having a go here. It's going to be every lap on the line now. I know Litvinovic really wants this. Krzysztof Skierowski is team manager and also spotter is telling him to push hard in Polish now. So no, it's awesome. The 001 EKS Audi is still bang on there.
Patrick O'Donovan, you raced most of these guys last season in Euro RX1. It's as tight as it was then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Juri Bilewski, he's such a consistent driver. Every time he's in the car, you know he's going to be going and setting amazing sectors around the lap. It's really quite frustrating when you're against him, to be completely honest, because he's always there. No matter what you do, if you make a mistake, he's always going to be on you. But
he's as fast as the world, guys.
He is, yeah, of course.
37.7.
There was some talks about him wanting to step up from Euro to World, just like the last minute Friday evening. But nothing ever came of it in the end. But I honestly, having him on the grid would have been a pleasure. But of course, this year it looks like he's going to be going for the European title, as I did myself last year. And I mean, if he continues to race the way he did last year and the way he's performing this weekend, he has an amazing opportunity and chance to be able to do that.
Well, when do you get the chance to become a European champion in any sport? You've got to pursue that if you have the chance, don't you? Okay, and then there might be years in the future where you try and become a world champion. Having a European title is a massive deal in any sport. Bilewski stays out front, Litvinovic and Limatainen. When are they going to joke though?
Yeah, that's a good question, because Limatainen is slightly losing a little bit to Litvinovic. You see 1.5 seconds up, so he needs to get closer, but it's the final lap. So far, so good for Litvinovic. I think he's going to get that P2.
And Patrick, is the danger Laszlo Kiss now? Because he hasn't jokered either, has he? So the top 4 have yet to joker. They're all going to have to go in.
It's going to be tight in between Englund and Limatainen for 3rd.
Okay, so Litvinovic carries on. Did Limatainen joker?
Sorry, I was wrong. It was the second to last lap. We're heading into the last lap now. Bilewski just did his joker. He's consistently beneath 38 zeros. Where Litvinovic is 38.5, 38.7 and 38.5.
Looking from here, I think that Sendland is going to get Kiss, you know.
Yeah.
Possibly not Limatainen, but I'd be happy to see him do it, you know, from wherever he's racing in any
but you see here
category.
3.6 and 6.9, so it's close, 3 seconds.
It's close enough. He could be looking at a European Championship podium on his debut.
He lost 4 tenths now, so he was exactly the same, like 3 seconds.
And he's such an exciting driver to watch race. He's always, I mean, he's nicknamed Martin Senden for a reason.
Have you seen Rally X?
Oh, mate, he's sideways everywhere. We love it. Love to see it. Come on, he's on the X. He doesn't quite have Limatainen.
No, but he might send it down the inside, yellow, black and blue. and no, he doesn't make it through. So it is a comfortable margin for Juri Bielewski. Damian Litvinowicz of Poland takes second place, and Limitainen rounds out the podium. Litvinowicz will be very happy. He was going to join us at the beginning of the show, but it was a little bit tight to get down to the grid. He said he would come up afterwards, so he's going to be a very happy bunny. But Juri, who was in here before as well in qualifying, and he's just looked like the man to beat, hasn't he? And that's the way, Patrick, I guess you want to start the season. Absolutely lay down a marker. OK, here I am, come and get me.
Yeah, of course, started you mean to go on.
Very even start, but Bielewski had that one. He had a bang-on start. He needed a good start in the final. Limitainen has been starting so well all weekend long, so Litvinowicz managing to sneak on the inside, following Bielewski there in turn 1, and then he kept his rhythm and gapped Limitainen.
And Kiss shuffled out Enlund in that first lap, and that second that he lost there might have been the difference between ending up 4th or potentially on the podium, but he's got great opportunities to do that. Late joker for our leader. It was never in danger. He'd already built up the margin he needed.
Hearing a moped in the background.
So, Euro RX3 done, tick that box. Euro RX1 ticked that box. Not much left, is... Oh, hang on a minute. World Rallycross final. All right, so... Right, Patrick O'Donovan with us here in the booth, and Raffaella Barbosa.
What are you going to do from now till Höljes to improve and get back up there for the final?
I mean, four drive shafts that are completely intact would be a great start.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to say it there. My front right drive shaft was broken.
We could see.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit on the last lap with the gravel. I dropped a lot of pace, and then coming out of the gravel, I was like, oh, like really holding onto it, pulling some gears. And then, you know, I came into that corner, and you load so much into that the second last corner, the tight left-hand hairpin. And the car just went around, and then obviously I tried to map the throttle to keep it going, and it went back around on me again. So the crowd loved it. Wasn't ideal, but of course there's a lot of work to improve on. I think going into Höljes, it's a track that I love. It's a track that, when I'm out there, it really just suits my driving style. Of course, I think the FIA are going to have to look at this EOT because it's not quite fair looking. If you look out on the results there, I mean, Johan's doing an amazing job. He's an amazing driver. And the rest of the teams in the paddock, if we want to have a chance to compete against the electric cars, we're unable. We're not the same as Johan. We're not the same as KMS. We can't bring the same level of product. And I mean, even he's struggling against them. So it's difficult. But no, I think possibly a sports psychologist as well might help. Might help me just with getting into flow state a little bit more. You know, I'm usually pretty good at getting into the zone, but I struggle this weekend, whether it's the heat or just not being peak performance. It's something for me to look at going into the next event.
And a little less familiarity with the track as well, having not been here before. You know, you're always on the back foot, so you're now trying to catch up rather than start level. So there's all of that going on in the whole process, and then limited laps. Yeah, it all adds up to the whole. OK, so look at the icy glaze again from Johan Kristoffersson. Starts on the outside of the front row as we get ready for our World Rallycross final. 2 internal combustion engine cars versus 4 EVs. Can Kristoffersson hold off the Hansens? Can he get ahead of Gronholm, who has been in really strong form all weekend long? We're going to find out in just a moment. It is the final of round 1 in Lousada, World Rallycross, with Gronholm and Kristoffersson on the front row of the grid. EV versus internal combustion. The battle of technologies continues. The Hansens on row 2, VB and Anderson on row 3. And again, it is internal combustion versus EV. So, who's going to come out on top of this? In theory, there's a couple of elements on this track, the tight hairpin, particularly the final corner, and the launch that really suit the all-electric powertrain.
The start is so crucial. I'm very, very excited for this final. I mean, the Hansens are on the second row. They could try to kind of, if they have a good start and good launch, kind of squeeze Niklas ahead of Johan and kind of keep him on the outside, knowing it's a 6-lap final. it's going to be crucial to keep the tire style for all the laps.
Here we go, Grönholm on the left, Kristoffersson immediately moving to cover across, and he fears the danger of two Hansen steaming up the inside. He stays on the outside line, and Grönholm has the lead, but Kristoffersson is being eased out, first by Timmy Hansen, Kevin right with them, Ole Christian in there as well. So this is second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. But as we saw in his qualifying heat, the man who's gone is Grönholm.
I'm just a little bit confused whether it's Veiby or Johan was up ahead. The cars are so similar, but great start from Niklas again, as well with the Hansens, managing to squeeze Johan wide in turn 1 and 2 there, leaving him no room.
So there is Johan Kristoffersson with the #1 plate. He is in last place. He's behind Kevin Hansen. So does that mean that he is going to have to follow the Hansen car all the way through?
Johan's been mugged there on the first lap. He's gone from second place down to fifth, I believe, fifth or sixth. Of course, he took the Joker lap first lap to try and capitalise and catch up back on everybody else. But
I just saw Ole Christian going very wide in the velodrome, probably losing a little bit time where he needs to get the laps down. He's 2 seconds behind Niklas and 1.8 behind Timmy there, so for him to get up there the ladder, he really needs to sharpen up.
Yeah, and it looks like Niklas is pulling away slightly from Timmy there. I mean, Timmy's going to be looking to go into the Joker in the next couple of laps. If he doesn't want to be stuck behind Niklas for too long. But the issue is, if he goes into the Joker now, he might come out behind Veiby or Anderson.
Timmy felt quicker than Niklas in the semi-finals. It's going to be very interesting to see whether they will Joker early or stay out.
Big time mark on the left-hand side door of Niklas Grönholm's car. That was from the first lap down into turn 1 with Kristoffersson, but Timmy is right there, really piling on the pressure. So who is going to Joker first? In theory, in my head, Timmy has to, but where he is, he's piling the pressure on Niklas, and Niklas knows he can't Joker until Timmy does.
Kevin is doing a 37.6 and Johan is doing 37.5, where Niklas is doing 38.2, so they're definitely catching.
This is becoming more and more difficult now for Niklas Grönholm, because this trio behind, or these two cars behind Clara Anderson, are lapping faster, but they're now behind Clara. So are they going to keep Clara out right to the end to try and allow Niklas to build a gap?
Of course, I know it's only the first race in the season, but team games might start coming into it. Of course, CE Dealer team, Clara's controlling the pack currently. She's got Kevin and Johan behind her.
Faster than Grönholm at the moment, both laps, lap 3 and 4. So,
wow,
if her intention is to slow down, she's not.
Well, maybe she fancies winning this. How far is the gap? I mean, it's nothing at the moment for Grönholm.
Oh, Kevin managed to pass Clara there.
It's a good move in the dirt. We didn't really see it, but the end result is that Kevin Hansen is up to 4th now. That frees him to put even more pressure on Niklas Grönholm. And of course,
Grönholm
Timmy
is doing 38.3 and Kevin is doing 38.1, so it's really tight. Kevin has 2.8 up to Niklas, and he's in the range of winning the race.
I wonder what the Joker predictor is making of all this. I think strategy has gone out the window.
The final lap.
It's thinking on your feet. Left with no opportunity. What about Kevin Hansen? Can he make it onto the podium?
This is going to be tight.
It is going to be 6 to the line. It's Grönholm, it's Hansen, it's one of the Hansens is going to make it.
Timmy's
through. It on the apex, and up the inside comes Ole Christian. Is he going to get 2nd or 3rd at the line? He's 3rd at the line. Timmy, I mean, that was a proper log jam.
Timmy trying to muscle his brother out there to keep hold of position 2. Unfortunately, that meant that Veiby had an opportunity to get up the inside.
Wow, I need to see that one more time.
Andreas, we're going to send you off to speak to Johan.
Obrigado.
All right, so actually Andreas has to run because he's got to do interviews down at the finish line. That was pressure. I mean, you want it to be pressure. You don't want anybody to run away at the beginning of a World Rallycross Championship final. But that was real pressure. Niklas Grönholm, very quietly, has kind of been just about on top of everybody all weekend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, let's be honest, across all sports, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be badminton, it could be rallycross. Finns are just, they're bred to be calm and collected, you know? There's something about them. No matter what happens, they always seem unfazed and level-headed. So no, he's done an absolutely amazing job this weekend, and it's yeah, it's a great way for him to start the championship.
Yeah, lots of pressure on that final lap. Well, there is the defending champion Johan Kristoffersson. So, okay, reset, and they'll head towards Höljes with another plan. But let's take a look again. Niclas Gronholm from pole position. One of the things in qualifying is his launches have been exceptionally good. Kevin gets a little nudge there on the way out from Johan as he gets nudged by Nick on the inside. And then Johan gets probably, as you said, mugged in turn 2, and he gets shuffled out onto the loose and comes back out only just in 5th position.
Yeah, Clara did well there to hold on to it on the exit there.
Yeah.
She clipped the curb. She did an amazing job to keep it going, but...
And then all that pressure from Timmy Hansen just eating the dust of Niclas Gronholm all the way should have forced Gronholm to make an error, didn't. And then getting down, is this going to be the pass on Clara? We didn't see. Then final lap, top 3 coming out of the Joker lap. Hansen's coming together, and watch the carnage in the final corner. That was anybody's second place. In the end, Timmy Hansen just held on. All right, well, there you go. That's the way it finished, with Niclas Gronholm on top of the pile. Timmy Hansen just out fumbling his brother for 2nd place. And in the end, Kevin didn't even get onto the podium. So Patrick O'Donovan, Ole Christian there with his head absolutely in gear, saw what was happening in front of him and just went for it. And he grabbed 3rd, almost grabbed 2nd at the line.
Yeah, to be honest, looking at that, it's tough. I mean, at the end...
Right, we're going to take a look at the race again. So, from the driver's eye view, what more could Johan Kristoffersson have done there? He tried to squeeze Nick.
He tried to cut back in, didn't quite work, went for the outside. I mean, at that point, Kevin's already got his inside, gave him a little touch, allowed Timmy to get away, couldn't quite get the power down. Kevin just shoved him back out again. Kevin just, well, really just shoved him towards the wall there. Anything anyone would do, to be honest. If I was in the same situation, I'd be doing the exact same thing to try and get track position. But no, it's tough. I mean, looking at it there, it was smart to go into the Joker from that position, try and pick them off as they can. Of course, they lost out slightly because they were being held up by Clara for a lap, but then Clara got the foot down. She was going quicker than her teammate Niclas. So I don't really know what the issue was for the lap that came out behind them. Maybe it just she needed a second to reset and go again, but no, I don't know. I mean, looking at this, it's tough. It was just a tough race for Kevin and Johan. There wasn't really too much they could do from after that start position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and when you get shuffled out all the way down to the back of the pack, you know that Lady Luck is not necessarily riding along with you. Niclas Gronholm, though, under pressure from Timmy Hansen. I mean, that's pretty relentless, and you know that pressure is coming from a champion, and you just have to keep your nerve and hold on.
Yeah, I mean, both of these drivers have been racing against each other. To be honest, before I even hit puberty, they were racing against each other. So it's been a long time. I mean, I'm not that old, but it's been quite a long time, and they know each other. They know each other's driving styles. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, what's going to work, what's not. I think following Gronholm there and not trying anything too risky was quite smart from Timmy and from Hansen. Just, yeah, I mean, I think all in all, there's not really much he could have done there but follow him to the end.
Well, when your spotter's Kenneth Hansen, you take their advice generally, don't you? So, yeah, pretty decent stuff. So, Ole Christian grabbing 3rd at the line, Timmy in 2nd, but it was Niclas Gronholm from CE Dealer Team who started on pole and took it to the checkered flag. Let's catch up with them. Andreas is there.
All right, so a week ago today, I flew down to Lousada to do the FIA reference driver. Next to me on the airplane was my earlier former rival, Anton Marklund, and I asked, what are you doing here? He said, I'm going to be the spotter of Niclas Gronholm, a one-off event because Adam wasn't here this weekend. And then you come here, you arrive, and you put your driver in pole position for the final, and then he goes there to win. Is Adam coming back?
That's a good question. At least I'm putting a lot of pressure on Adam, who, by the way, was my spotter for like 10 years. He's the best in the business. And when he couldn't be here, I was happy when I got the question from Jussi to do his job. And yeah, let's say I put a bit of pressure on Adam for sure.
Do you get more nervous by spotting or driving?
More pumped for driving, and not too much of the adrenaline going on the spotter's tower, to be honest. I was surprised. I haven't been on this level spottering before, but yeah, I think you just go into your hyper focus and just being there, just taking the split times between drivers and all that, and yeah, it was a lot better than I thought, and yeah, to come out on top is always nice.
Biķernieki, you guys have done a lot of testing, a lot of preparation. Do you think that's the reason why you have both the cars in the final and also with Niklas winning the event? What's the emotion going through right now?
For sure, I just said to one of the guys on the way back that at least we didn't spend the Easter and some other red holidays for nothing. We were out there testing, and yeah, Niklas has had the pace already before, not now maybe a bit more, you know, complete package. For Klara, being up here, being in the final, being, let's say, 2-3 tenths of a second away the whole weekend, that's amazing. With her experience being on this level, okay, the time wasn't yet to be on the podium, but it's coming, and it's really nice to be leading this group now.
I can sense some emotions here. Let's go back to the studio. Thank you, guys.
Emotional Scandinavians, he can't be right, sure. I think the Swedes are a little bit more relaxed than that, but what a great start to the championship for CE Dealer Team, but especially for Niklas Grönholm. You know this, when you start with a points advantage, it brings pressure because you're the leader and everybody's chasing you, but you've got a gap. It's like making a good start in any race. If they're behind you, they've got to catch and pass, and that makes a big difference mentally.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends on how you're going to deal with it. You know, some drivers will look at it that they've got a bullseye on their back, and some guys will look at it saying that, you know what, I've got room for breathing, some fresh air. So I think Niklas, to be honest, knowing him, he's kind of the guy who will say, I've got a bit of fresh air, some breathing room to get my head down and see what happens. But you never know. I mean, we've got quite a while now, a few weeks to Höljes. Anything can happen. Of course, home race for Timmy, home race for Kevin as well, and Johan. So, I mean, yeah, everyone up the top there is going to be fighting as hard as they possibly can, and we'll just have to wait to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm also going to be rooting for myself, hopefully. We can try and find a bit more pace before Höljes and see what can happen.
Well, I mean, you know, everything is a reset. Höljes is a completely different track, different in nature, and it will favour the two different types of technology differently. You know it a bit better, certainly more better than you know this place, and so it's got all of that. And it brings that friends and family coming to the race as well for the local drivers like Klara Andersson. So how would you sum up in a few words your final here today?
Good pace, but if you come out last, it's hard to beat these boys. They are extremely quick, so I think the lap times were good, but I lost too much the first lap for sure.
And it was after qualifying where everybody kept everything pretty clean and neat and tidy, as we always expect. Suddenly in finals, gloves off. Okay, now it's actually about track position. You've got to make positions, you've got to pass, you've got to hold people off, and so it's a whole different mindset, isn't it? You've spent, you know, 4 sessions just focusing on yourself. Now you've actually got to focus on everybody else.
Absolutely, the gloves are off, and you do what you need to do. And I'm extremely happy for Niklas and for the whole team. He has done a brilliant day today and yesterday, so great result for the team, and hope to be up there myself the next race.
And it shows the potential that's in the cars as well. Now, Rafaela Barbosa has been with us all weekend. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to let you go and enjoy your celebrations with your family, and wish Rafaela the best of luck for the rest of the Portuguese National Series, because here is Kevin Hansen. So as he comes in, we're going to catch up with Andreas, and he is down with Ole Christian.
All right, I'm down here with Ole Christian, my fellow Norwegian, the only one in the field right now. I didn't see that one coming. I saw you in the background. A lot of things happened in the last turn. Yeah. What were your prediction on it?
Well, it's like you say, I didn't saw that coming either.
It was dusty as well.
It was, yeah, it was. And no, I tried to just follow Niklas and who was it, Timmy, in the front, and yeah, I catched a bit during the end, and I think the other guys they had some fighting with Clara. I think I heard on the radio, and yeah, I don't know what happened there in the last corner. I just came out of the Joker and I saw, just like you say, just a big, huge cloud of dust, and I hit someone in from behind, and yeah, I don't know. Suddenly came out P3, so was not what I expected from the final when I was in there, but yeah, lucky to get a podium for sure. It's always nice to be on the podium, but yeah, we wanted more this weekend for sure.
Yeah. What's your prediction from this weekend? What's your takeaway?
Well, it is how it is. I mean, for sure we struggle compared to the electric in the launches, and yeah, then everything becomes difficult because it's not easy to overtake on this track. So so that's how it is. At least we improved our own launches a lot during the weekend, also because we have a little bit new system for this year compared to last year. So.
Thank you, Ole.
Thank you.
We're hearing now from Ole. Of course, nothing stands still. Technology always moves on. Got Kevin Hansen with us. Talk about the last lap, because, boy, there was a traffic jam in that hairpin. Now, I kind of anticipated there might have been all the way through the weekend, but it happened in the final.
This is like pouring... You guys are pouring salt in my wounds right now.
I'm sorry.
It's tough. Oh, we did a mistake there. I didn't see he did that. I mean, I did see they were starting to drop a little bit, and I thought, oh, but look me now. I get caught in a rut there, and I climbed the curb so much. I see I'm up there. That's where I lost for sure, Niklas. I mean, that's unlucky, Leo.
And having the top three jokering on the last lap was unusual, but it just brought everybody together. There you and Timmy are side by side.
Honestly, this didn't say any nice words on the radio after that finish line.
Stuff happens. You know, it's competition, and another time you might be the Ole Christian coming up behind. Hey, everybody stop. I'll just go inside.
Ole Christian, I don't mind. I think it's Timmy that shouldn't do that. So that's really frustrating.
All right, well, Kevin's up here, down with Timmy Hansen. We'll keep Kevin here. Let's hear from Timmy.
Yeah, like you said, Martin, I'm here with the older brother of Kevin, Timmy. Congrats with P2. It was a tight battle there, especially the last turn. Your brother on the outside, you coming from the Joker. It looked like from the TV that you tried to give him room, but still you touch, and still he lost a little bit of pace there. You could have finished second and third, but ended second and fifth. Or fourth? Fourth, sorry.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, he really tried to go super close the door on me in the last corner, but so I had to come out of the throttle, but I was always kind of there. And I knew coming into the corner that, you know, the only way we can get 2 and 3 as a team is if I back down. At the same time, we got a race, right? So I stayed in the gap and I went past. I hope it doesn't feel too bad, but I heard he had enough of a gap to win the race, and he made apparently a big mistake in the last lap. So I think
he had 2.8, so he should have kind of placed himself a little bit further ahead, and you would have finished second and third. But overall, he finished fourth, by the way. I got on the air. But overall, your takes on the weekend. I feel you guys are looking strong out there. I think this track suits an EV car. What's your take? What are you going to do to improve even more for Höljes?
Höljes is the track we've done, you know, a million laps on, both you and me, and everyone has. It's a track that really favors like lightweight and combustion engine cars, that traction they get with four-wheel drive that they have. We really found the pace here this weekend for me at the end of the race. Once we put some new tires on, I struggled in Q4, I was too slow. But once we put some new tires on, the car was alive again. And I felt faster than Niklas in both the semi and the final. It's just that I tried to play around with my lines to have a better exit than him, to be close enough to do something on the next corner braking, but, you know, I was just too close and I couldn't quite get to him.
What you want to say, if I was ahead of you, you would have...
The driver is always perfect, right? The driver, so it's always the circumstances.
And on the Hansen Brothers podcast, are you going to tell more about the race from this weekend?
Yeah, thank you for the shout out. Of course, we're going to deep dive. On Thursday, we release the episode all about this weekend, and we're going to talk like 30-40 minutes about everything that's going on behind the scenes, more than in these 2 minutes that we get on TV right here. So we're going to really deep dive and tell you guys everything that's been going on.
Thank you, Timmy.
Hansen Brothers podcast.
Actually, Kevin, you know, that's for fans, that's a really great opportunity. That podcast that the two of you do, you talk about the business, you talk about how you build the cars, how you operate the cars, financing the cars, all of that, everything that gets you onto the grid. And that's stuff that we can't show on TV because it happens away from TV, it happens away from the racetrack. So it's really important for the fans that you bring this information and it's not just about, I caught a rut and there we are, even if you did catch a rut.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to be a great episode as long as he apologizes before. I mean, that's going to be an obligatory one. Otherwise, the Hansen brother teamwork is gone down the drain. So it's going to be nice to catch up on Tuesday after his apology. And we go again in Höljes. I mean, my pace this weekend was great. Timmy caught up in the end as well. So a lot of positives. Ole Christian said earlier, it looks like we are ahead in the starts. I think Johan was almost first down in turn 1 with his petrol car. So if anything, it was a really fun, close battle this weekend. I think they were a bit quicker on the tarmac. In general, the petrol cars, we were a bit quicker on the gravel, it felt like. So looking forward to go to Höljes and see what we got there on the Magic weekend.
Well, this is what fans want to see. They want to see different cars producing their pace differently at different tracks. And I expect that Höljes is going to reset all of that. But maybe our race winner thinks different. Maybe Niklas Gronholm thinks that one win is not enough and he's just going to go out in Sweden and do the same again. Let's see. Andreas is with him.
Absolutely. In Finnish, good boy. Hyvä poika. Great job there, Niklas. Awesome starts, bang on the money. From all the qualifying heats to the semi-final and final, what's your take on the weekend and on the win?
Yeah, I think a perfect rallycross execution, to be honest. Maybe not the ultimate pace throughout the weekend, but from Q2 on, we had the inside line and had good launches. Like I said, was able to kind of control the race a little bit in places.
You didn't look quite as fast in the final as you've been looking throughout the rest of the weekend. Why not?
I don't know. I felt, especially like turn 2, I was really playing safe. I felt that I'm driving on the grip, but ultimately I was maybe not pushing enough, just because clearly they catch up on me there after that. But yeah, I maybe just too careful in some places. But also I was told on the radio that it's fine, so it was enough this time. But yeah.
Are you always this calm when you win a race?
I guess so. I don't know.
That's always a little bit annoying because I'm complete opposite. I would speak about anything and everything. Hey, I spoke with Anton Marklund, your spotter this weekend. Is Adam coming back for the next races?
We have to see.
I also know Adam, by the way. We were classmates in Torsby in Sweden. A great guy, a very smart, probably the smartest guy I know. He's mega. Yeah. Hey, what are you gonna do in between now until the weekend in Höljes?
I'm gonna have vacation, I think. I've been on the go for 1 month straight, 3 days at home during May, so I'm looking forward to have some vacation with my son.
Hyvä poika. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. That is the face of a jubilant Finn. That's as emotional as he's going to get. Because, Kevin, he's had a big win here, but that's 1 of 6.
Yeah.
And that one win, it's a great place to start, to be at the top of the points, come and get me, but everything could turn upside down next time out.
100%. I mean, like you say, now this year when we only get points in the end of the weekend, it's really about, you know, giving it everything in that last race and capitalizing. He did a great weekend. I mean, as soon as the key moment for him this weekend was that turn 1 in the second race, in the second quali yesterday. Unbelievable move. He got the first heat win in the top there, and then he kept the inside. So really impressive, and hopefully, you know, we can take him the next time.
All right, so 1 of 6 rounds is done. Lousada is now in the history books for the first time in 17 years, so it really is history books as well. Let's take a look at the point standings. Of course, as Kevin has pointed out, points make prizes, but only in the final. You don't get anything for not being there. So it is Niklas Gronholm who is our points leader from Timmy Hansen, and Ole Christian, perhaps the surprise of the top 3, I think, this weekend. Okay, maybe a VW in there, but maybe not the one we might have put money on before the weekend started.
No, exactly. He's been there all the time. He's been capitalizing on opportunities. He's personally been a little bit behind in the start, I think, but then really being on it there in turn 1. So well done to him to get a good reward for it. He was also there. I mean, fair play to him. He was there when me and Timmy didn't play the ultimate team game. So he was there just like I was with Johan yesterday when Timmy was on the inside of him there. So well done to him. And I mean, now we're all firing on all cylinders in Rallycross. So let's go to Höljes. I can't wait for it, Martin.
And like you said, you know, Höljes, you've done millions of laps. Everybody knows it really well. So you kind of know what you're going to expect there. Now, obviously, the FIA have got the data from the EV cars here, from the internal combustion cars here, and from the control car, which, interestingly, set the fastest single lap of the entire weekend. So Andreas is very full of himself. But let's listen to our winning anthem on the podium.
And now presenting the trophy to the third place of Christian Vary, presented by Emilia Ave, FIA World Sport Director.
Well, Emilia, one of the key figures in bringing the World Rallycross Championship back to life again over the course of last winter.
Second place of Timmy Hansen, Pedro Machado, the mayor of Lousada.
And Lousada and its corporate body bringing such a great show here. I think everybody will be really impressed and pleased to come back again.
We have below the head of communications of Volvo Construction Equipment.
And our partners in track building for the World Rallycross Championship. And of course, big thanks to Ascendum, our title sponsor this weekend. And congratulations to our podium finishers.
Party with the champagne, let's wait. Okay, let's party with the champagne.
La Champagne de Victoire. It's always a good, it's a bon émotion, hein?
Très bonne.
Yeah, so Antoine Lepelfren didn't make the final this time, but next time out. And Kevin Hansen as well. Everything is a reset. So we go to Höljes. Everything is possible again.
Everything is possible, and one thing that is for sure is that the weather could be anything. We have no clue, because those mountains around, they are really playing, you know, tricks on us, and it's going to be fascinating to see what we got. We can have a beautiful weekend, we can have really rain, sunshine, it can be carnage, can't it, Andreas?
Yeah, I've been there many times before. Sun is shining, 35 degrees, awesome, maybe too warm, and then the next day, 8 degrees in rain. What the? Yeah. But I mean, you came so close today, Kevin. You had it in your pocket. You had the time, 2.8. Mistake on the dirt.
Yeah. I just caught the rut on that last lap, and I just got up on the curb, and I knew. Real shame.
All right, well, it's been a great start to the FIA World Rallycross Championship here in Lousada. From Thursday evening, the reception from the fans in town, the huge crowd that has come out on Friday, Saturday and Sunday to watch the cars on track. A great venue, back on the World Championship map again. And the racing has been close, it's been fast, it has been very tight. In Euro RX3, it was the Portuguese drivers came out on top. In Juri Belewski, we have a championship leader who is going to be tough to catch in Euro RX1. And in World Rallycross, well, we don't really know yet. For Anthony Pelfren, on a la chance en Suède pour améliorer les résultats.
Oui, je vais essayer de travailler. Je suis tombé avec de très bons pilotes. On a un très haut niveau cette année d'engagement.
Well, he's looking forward to working hard and getting in amongst the action with the best drivers on the planet in World Rallycross. And Kevin, going back to familiar territory, everybody is going to be champing at the bit. Because if you've been in front or behind, you want to improve 100%. On that.
Yeah, everybody's going to go home now. The season is finally underway and we're going to dig deep. I'm sure the KMS crew, they don't like to be third and not on the podium with Johan, so they're going to dig very deep. So are we. We're up and running, and I mean, we just get so much energy this weekend. I think the whole paddock, the whole championship, the whole sport really saw a re-ignition this weekend with the amazing fans, the amazing coverage here, and I mean, to be free to air on YouTube has been absolutely incredible. So going to Höljes, the magic weekend, I think, you know, it smells like it's going to be a lot of magic this year.
I think so, and the crowd here has been impressive. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, you need to get to a World Rallycross round near you, and why not go to Höljes? It's another classic, legendary venue. And Andreas Bakkerud is going to be driving again.
Yeah, I entered yesterday in the support category, the open rear-wheel drive, with my Ford Puma in Belgian Motorsport Evolution. Bring my own trailer for the first time ever. It's going to be awesome. I will say though, I think this was awesome first race for the season. We need help from everyone. Bring it up, share, likes, comment, all the stuff live on YouTube. It's awesome.
And tell your friends. If you're watching today, you know about World Rallycross. Tell everybody you know. Join us in Höljes 5 weeks from now. All the action. Until then, from me, Martin Haven, and everybody here, thanks for being with us. Bye for now.